Welcome to the lesson on the personal protective equipment for working on battery electric vehicles. In this lesson, we will focus on the critical safety practices, standards, and personal protective equipment that are required to safely work with high-voltage BEVs. Let us now look at our lesson objectives. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to recognize electrical hazards and describe thermal runaway. You will also be able to explain the purpose of workplace safety. Finally, you will be able to identify common types of personal protective equipment used for electrical safety in BEVs. BEVs use high-voltage battery systems that can cause serious electrical shock if proper safety procedures are not followed. Technicians should know the potential dangers of working with BEVs and take precautions to stay safe. BEV batteries contain flammable materials and may catch fire if the battery is damaged, overheated, or improperly handled. BEVs are typically heavier than comparable gasoline vehicles because of the battery pack, which can create additional safety considerations during towing, lifting, or repair. Personal protective equipment can help to insulate you from electricity and prevent you from getting a shock. What is an arc flash? An arc flash is a very dangerous electrical accident that can happen in high-voltage equipment. It happens when electricity suddenly jumps through the air from one place to another. When this happens, the temperature can rise to over 34,000 degrees Fahrenheit. That is hotter than the surface of the sun. An arc flash creates a bright flash of light, a very loud bang, and can throw hot metal pieces through the air. These things can cause serious injuries or even death. Because arc flashes are so dangerous, technicians must always follow safety rules. They need to wear the right protective clothing and equipment to keep themselves safe. It is also important to take care of electrical equipment and make sure it is clearly labeled so technicians know the risks before they start their job. What is thermal runaway? Thermal runaway is a chain reaction that occurs in a battery when the temperature inside the battery rises uncontrollably. This can happen for several reasons, such as overcharging, overheating, an internal short circuit, or physical damage to the battery. When thermal runaway begins, the temperature inside the battery rises very quickly and continues to increase. This extreme heat can cause the battery to break open and release flammable gases. If these gases ignite, they can cause a fire or even an explosion. Thermal runaway in a battery happens in several stages. The first stage is initiation, when the battery's temperature begins to rise due to a problem such as damage, overheating, or an internal fault. The next stage is acceleration, where heat starts building up quickly inside the battery and the temperature rises faster. This can lead to thermal runaway when the battery overheats uncontrollably and may release gases or catch fire. The final stage is termination, when the reaction stops after the energy inside the battery has been released. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or OSHA, is a government agency that helps keep workplaces safe. It creates safety rules that protect technicians from hazards and injuries while they're doing their jobs. These rules help make sure that workplaces are organized and that risks are controlled. Technicians are also expected to follow these safety rules and use protective equipment when it is required to help prevent accidents and injuries. These safety rules are important when working with high-voltage systems and BEVs. Let us look at an overview of the range of essential personal protective equipment that every BEV technician should know. This includes insulated gloves, eye protection, flame-resistant or arc-rated clothing, and safety footwear, which are critical in keeping you safe while working on BEVs. Rubber-insulated gloves are used to protect technicians from electric shock when working with high-voltage systems. These gloves are rated for specific voltage levels to ensure they provide the right protection. Leather protector gloves are worn over the rubber gloves to prevent cuts, tears, or punctures that could damage the insulation. Safety glasses and face shields help protect the eyes and face from hazards that may occur when working near electrical systems. Ensure these protective items are made from non-conductive materials to reduce the risk of electricity passing through them. They should also be kept clean and free from scratches so technicians can see clearly and remain safe while performing their tasks. Flame-resistant or arc-rated clothing is crucial to your PPE. Flame-resistant clothing made of non-melting or non-flammable materials like flame-retardant treated cotton shields you from thermal hazards such as fires and intense heat. Flame-resistant or arc-rated clothing is an indispensable component of your PPE when there is a fire risk or flame exposure. These specialized garments protect you from thermal hazards like flash fires, arc flashes, or intense heat. Flame-resistant or arc-rated clothing is flame retardant, treated 100% cotton fabric. This fabric has been chemically treated to resist ignition and slow the spread of flames if exposed to a fire incident. This treatment ensures that the clothing remains flame-resistant throughout its use. Electrical hazard, or footwear, is designed to help protect technicians from electric shock. These shoes are made with non-conductive materials that reduce the risk of electricity passing through the body. When working near electrical systems or high-voltage equipment, wearing rated footwear is an important part of staying safe. Let's look at the safety equipment and emergency preparedness. Electrical testing tools such as voltage testers, multimeters, and test leads help technicians check if high voltage is present before touching equipment. Insulation and protective barriers such as insulation mats, high voltage safety barriers, warning signs reduce the risk of electrical shock. Emergency response equipment such as insulated rescue hook, fire extinguisher, and first aid kit helps protect people during accidents. Safety procedures and planning such as lockout, tagout, emergency plans, evacuation route indicators prepare technicians for emergencies. Medical response readiness such as cardiopulmonary resuscitation and defibrillator training ensures quick help if someone is injured. Let us look at the summary for our lesson, Personal Protective Equipment for Working on Battery Electric Vehicles. Electrical hazards, such as electric shock and arc flash, can cause serious injuries if proper precautions are not taken. Another important risk in electric vehicles is thermal runaway, which is a dangerous battery reaction that can lead to fire or even an explosion. OSHA mandates strict safety standards and protective equipment for technicians to prevent hazards, especially when servicing high-voltage BEV systems. Personal protective equipment provides an additional layer of protection and helps reduce the risk of injury. Safety equipment, warning systems, and emergency procedures help protect technicians when working around high-voltage electric vehicle systems. By following proper safety procedures, technicians can stay safe when working around BEVs, electrical systems, and BEV batteries. Thank you.